and Community Services here at Vincennes University. Here to celebrate our Cohort 55 in the Amazon VU MRA program. Here to especially celebrate all of our graduates in Cohort 55, but want to also celebrate our friends and family that are here, and our faculty and staff, and our corporate partners that make all of this possible. I want to say hi to all of our friends that are tuning in on the webcast out there. Typically, we got friends, we got family, we got supervisors back in our back in our FCs. So hi, everybody, and thanks to you for supporting our efforts in this program. See quite a few guests in the audience, and so if you don't mind, if you've got people who are with you, stand up, introduce yourself, and then introduce the people that you've got as guests here today. Will you do that? Starting with, looks like you got the biggest contingency here. Huh? Okay, great. You are? Yep.
My little sister right here, named Chastity.
Hi.
Beautiful girlfriend right here, Michaela.
Hi.
That's my mom, my supportive mom right there.
Excellent.
And this is my beautiful daughter. I just had 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
2 months ago.
So you came here,
Yep.
and then
7 days later.
oh my gosh. Well, that I mean, this program is transformational, but typically not quite that transformational. So congratulations. I don't know whether any of you other folks are going to go home to infant babies that were born while you were gone, but congratulations. Make sure her flower's on the right, so when we graduate, we're going to move. We'll move her little flower. We'll move it from right to left when she graduates. Okay. Excellent. Okay. What other guests? Looks like we got some guests back there in the back. Who are you? Okay, introduce yourself.
My name's Julius Phil.
Okay.
My mother, Lori, supportive mother, and my new stepdad, Ray.
All right.
Well, all the way from Cleveland, Ohio.
Excellent. Thank you. We're really glad that you're here and seeing your Grateful Dad T-shirt. I will let you know, my daughter, who's 29, her very first concert when she was about 6 months old was a Grateful Dead show. So yeah, you better believe it. So way to represent there. Looks like we got some guests here. Who are they with?
All right. My name is Carol Polito, and I got basically my wife, my mom, and my cousin.
All right. Well, welcome. Now, who made that lei of yours?
My cousin.
Yeah. And how much cash is it? Is that money? Is that cash?
Yeah.
Okay. How much is represented there? Well, what denominations are they? Are ones. Okay. Oh yeah. What is it? 55? Oh, $50. Okay. All right. Good. Well, that's really nice, isn't it? I don't know how many rounds you can buy at Cutter's with your lei, but I think they trade that out somehow. I think. Well, I guess that remains to be seen yet this afternoon, right? Okay. What other guests here? We got guests here. Okay. Robert, glad you're here. Where'd you come in from?
Waco, Texas.
Waco. All right. Way to go. Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Thanks for making the trip. Any other guests in the house? All right. Well, good. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. And thanks for your support during these 12 weeks that your Amazonians have been here on the ground in Vincennes. We couldn't do this without the support of our friends and our family. I think everybody who works at VU relies on that in what we do every day. So thanks again, everybody, for your support during the program and for being here today. I've been affiliated with this program since the very beginning. we met with Amazon for the first time in the spring of 2019, and in what is record speed for higher education, we were able to bring this program from an initial meeting to a full-blown curriculum to the first students in the door in October of 2019. We started the program up in Indianapolis at a facility we have on the west side of Indianapolis, in a small town called Plainfield. And we ran 2 cohorts, and we called them the legacy cohorts. And then by spring of 2020, we were ready to roll this program here, roll it the way that in a fashion that we're doing now, which is bringing people in from all over the country, staying in the dorms, coming here for class, rotating back out a weekend or 2 during the class, and getting back here and graduating out of the program. I can tell you, this is the most fun. It's the most challenging. It's the best project that I've gotten to work on at Vincennes University. And I'm now in my 18th year of working here. And it's just been a joy to be able to work with Amazon and the third-party companies that send students here, working on it with our partners at Amazon, working with this fabulous staff that we have, but particularly working with learners like you. You know, as you know, you don't look exactly like 18 and 19-year-old students who just graduated from high school 4 months ago. And in my mind, that's a great thing, because to do this kind of work, it takes a certain amount of maturity. It takes a certain amount of having life under your belt. It takes a certain amount of committing yourself to a program that's this hard, that goes this fast. And so looking around this room, as we've done 54 times before, it's just a tremendous pleasure for me to get to work on this program, and then to be here at the end and to be able to award certificates and celebrate in our achievement. We always like at graduation time to have students represent the class and speak for and on behalf of the class. We've had a couple of classes that declined to bring a student speaker. And you can imagine what those classes were like at graduation. There wasn't this kind of camaraderie. There wasn't this kind of spirit and fun that all of you bring. And so we're really glad that today we've got 3 student speakers. And so our first speaker that I'd like to bring up is Sardonic Sam.
Hi, everybody. I would like to say thank you for everything. Thank you for the experience. My experience here at VU was a hell of an experience. From the books to the class to the studying to the weekends not having off. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I want to say everybody here is awesome. It was a great experience to know who you are and learn about you guys. Each and every one of y'all are very smart and intelligent. And I hope life takes y'all further than this. And overall, the course and the experience here, I want to say thank you to you. And thank you to my family and the moral support that I've gotten here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sardonyx. Really appreciate that. Our next speaker is Tyron Stevens. Tyron. Yeah.
All right. I know y'all ready to go, so I promise to make this as long as possible, right? Okay. Okay. All right. For starters, I just want to thank my program coordinators. We got Carly, we got Brett back there. I want to thank my instructors for the patience that they had with this class. Well, I know we were a crazy bunch right here. We got a little wild. we definitely got a little wild. Also, I wanted to say to my peers though that this was a tough experience. You know, it was a lot of stuff threw at us within these 12 weeks that we were here. You know, keep going though. Don't let this be the stop. Don't let this be your pause. Don't ever get comfortable in life. Ever get comfortable. Always shake things up. Always look for better things, because there's always better things out there, and there's always a chance to improve yourself. Learned a lot since we've been here. You got 24 different personalities in the classroom, 25, 26, 27, 28, counting the instructors, right? So sometimes we all might not have got along, but at the same time, we all kind of needed each other. To see some people struggle, the motivation that you guys gave me and pushed through, I'm pretty sure I gave you guys some motivation. At least hopefully I did. I appreciate that. I just wanted to come up here and let that be known.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tyron. Our next speaker, before I call her up here, well, I'll go ahead and say it's Busha. Thank you. Wait, but before you come up, I was in the building a couple of weeks ago, and we had some guests from the Indiana Economic Development Corp. And these are bigwigs from Indianapolis who have lots of money that funds a lot of programs here in Vincennes. And it's really important for us to try to put on the best face that we can when these guests come to town. And I'm in here just making sure that, you know, the lights are on and the floors are swept. And Busha runs over to me and I have to let you know what a great program you have. And that was great for me to hear. But then about 5 minutes later, the folks from the Indiana Economic Development Corp showed up too, and got a chance to hear from Busha and a couple others here in the class. Yep, Tyron and and Constance, right? And the people who were here who heard from you have been talking about that since they left, because there's no better way for a funder or a policymaker to know what they're supporting, how it's working, than to hear from actual students who are in the middle of it. So I thank you all very much for pitching in and taking the time to talk. But thanks especially to Busha for kind of pulling me aside and kind of getting that thing started. So our third speaker today is Busha Ormalish, please. Busha.
First things I want to thank the very important people in my life is my kids. Because of them, I am here. And I know that all my managers are watching me. I really appreciate their help. They believe on me. They put me on this program because they know that I can do it. I keep telling them I'm scared. I'm scared to go there. I'm scared to fail. But no, I want to thank Mr. Khalid Dori, Mr. Phil, Mr. John Newman, Mr. Darrow, and the genius guy, Dakota. I know you are watching me now. And my manager, Emma. When I came here, I was very stressed and scared because I have a problem understanding because of my language. And with these best teachers, they give me their time to help me. I really appreciate Mr. Larry, that he even take his lunch break to come and teach me Mach 1, Mach 2, and the electricity. Mr. Josh, too, he been very patient with me and going with me step by step to understand. And Mr. Steve, he's not here. I really appreciate all the instruction. I said the truth because if not them helping me, I'm never gonna pass. And on the Pumaric and PLC, the great teacher, Mr. Dan, and Mr. Kurt, And I wish I say the name right, Mr. Wesley. Wesley? Yeah. And I really appreciate everyone here. Mr. Michael, thank you so much for everything. When I contact you about my son in hospital, you've been like very caring about me. Thank you so much. And to my besties, Constant and Sardanix, thank you so much. I'm gonna make everyone come to this program because this is the best location on all MRI program. All my friends, they are jealous because they don't have the same like us. They don't have the same experience like us. We have the best teachers and best schoolwork. Thank you.
Thank you, Busha. It is true, there are other colleges that teach this program. What we will say is we were the first, and we'd like to think we're the best. We also rely on you. I can go talk to Michael and his bosses all day long and tell them about how great VU is. Michael can go talk to him all day long about it. The people that make the difference are you, who've been successful in this program. Take your skills that you've learned over the last 12 weeks, go apply them at your SCs. Work through your competencies, get your OJT hours, get your actual journeyman's certification, and at the same time, tell those managers what a great program this is. And we love it when we get those kind of. We heard about your program from another MRA back at our SC. So please, if you've had a good experience, get out there and tell people that it was a good experience. Encourage them to get into the program, but if you can, encourage them to come here if they get a choice. As I said earlier, we couldn't do this program without the great partnership that we have with Amazon and the third parties. The third parties being CBRE, CWS, ELS, JLL, and logistics. But it's really Amazon that drives this program from the standpoint of personnel. And when I talk about starting this program back in 2019, there were a handful of people that were around for that. Jerry Rubel, who's our director of maintenance training, who thankfully is in isolation and hasn't come to this today. He's in his office locked in. But another key person who's been here since day one, who started as a professional colleague and has become a friend over these 5 years. And a friend because he's just so devoted to this program. He's so devoted to all of you and the success, our mutual success. And that's Michael Getchell. So Michael, please say a few words.
All right, good afternoon. I already got to speak a little bit to this group doing the on-the-job learning orientation where we got to cover some of the nuts and bolts, through some statistics and data your way, some food for thought. One of the things for those that aren't in the room on orientation day or on any of the calls we have ahead of time, I say about 1 million times in the time, and I promise this too, that I do this in our relationship, is that if you're willing to invest yourself well in the 15 months or so of this program, then the sky's the limit. And I'm really excited for this opportunity for you all, really excited for what this means for you, for your families, for your lives, for your futures and future families. So just tremendously proud of the effort that this group has put in, really excited to see where you all end up next. But before I dig in too far into you all, I do want to take a moment and speak to the family and friends, those that are here in the room, but also those joining us online. Thank you for tuning in. One of the big things that we talk about at orientation and during orientation is that I ask them to think about a question, and that's, why did you hit apply? I make everybody go through and introduce themselves, share a little bit about their story, and then why did you hit apply? Why did you want to join this program? Why did you want to take a job that was going to require you to go away to school for 12 weeks? Why did you want to do that? And unequivocally, the top response to the why did I hit apply to this position, answer this question, are the additional people that are not Amazon employees in the room. The families, the children. I'm not sure if the Guzman family is tuned in or not, but we had 2 babies born into this cohort over the 12 weeks. And so just, I mean, that's incredible too. But you all are their reason why. And I share a number of stories with them. But just to let you know, if you're a family member that's sitting at home watching, or you're here in the audience, that it was encouraged and impressed upon. And often, sometimes I do get pictures of this from them, but they, as I encouraged them to do, hung your picture on the bathroom mirror so they could look at you every day. And remember that when they're having those hard mornings before, if they didn't want to get out of bed that day, or maybe they failed an attempt at a test, or they were having a hard time, they would hang your picture on the wall. They would change their lock screens on their cell phones, the backgrounds on their laptops. The reason why that these folks are not just here present in this room today, but walking as successful graduates that did worked their hardest to grind out 8 certifications that required 2 exams per certification, that was highlighted in one of the student speakers, that required a lot more than just the Monday to Friday to get through this successfully. They did this, and they did this for you. And so if those that are working for Amazon, Cushman Wakefield, CBRE in this room, if you could recognize with me the people that are either sitting in the room or back home watching online, because we appreciate this. But not just for their sacrifice, but also for your sacrifice. We are truly grateful and appreciative, because we know what it's like to have to be away from home from our loved ones. But you all had to keep the fort, maintain things the way they were, keep things in good working order. Kids still had to get to practice in school, or baby doctor appointments, or whatever the case might have been, in the absence of these people that you allowed and you shared with us for the last 12 weeks. So your sacrifice, again, not unnoticed and truly appreciated. And we're also excited for what they are able to not just take from this experience, but bring home to you now that this is complete. Also, just want to make sure that I address you all specifically too, because now that you're done, this is the beginning. And we kind of highlighted some of that during the on-the-job learning experience. And you're all going back home to family, to friends, to roommates, to the teams that are hopefully watching and tuned in online with us today. Thank you for the maintenance managers and teams that are with us. Thank you for my team that might have joined as well, the directors and so forth that we invited to this call. But you're also going home. You get to go home and you get to plug back into life. And so do that. But as you do that, don't take this with a grain of salt. Don't take this experience for granted, because you learned a lot along the way. Not just what was required of you to get through these 8 tremendous and challenging certifications, but you learned a lot. My son is 7 years old. His name's Nolan, and he's playing tackle football for the first season. We just got through our second game, and it's been rough. It's rough to watch 7-year-olds play tackle football. You go home and you watch the Colts or whoever play on, or Bears or Chiefs play, on the preseason games. It's tough to watch 7-year-olds play tackle football. But what he is learning, and what I know he is learning, are things that I know that you were also to develop and learn along the way here. He has learned a great deal about teamwork and working with others. What it's like if the person next to you that you're lined up with isn't blocking well. What it's like if you're not doing your job and getting knocked on your rear end. There's somebody there that's going to help you up. Likewise, if they got knocked on their rear end, you help them up. He's learning the fundamentals about where to place his hands and how to be successful, and how to execute on certain plays, or how to work and operate safely with the tackle. Anybody that's got kids in youth football now knows all about the heads up, ear to hip, and all that stuff, the safe stuff. But all that should sound pretty familiar to what you've done and you've experienced here too. You had to rely on one another and support one another along the way. You had to learn how to operate safely, not just to keep yourself safe, but your lab partner safe. You had to learn how to learn to work effectively with people from different places. We have people from Texas, Detroit, Indianapolis. We have people from all across the country, California, all through in here. So people from different walks, backgrounds, creeds, everything that's different, unique from people. And it's the same thing with the sporting team. I need you to take this experience, not just the knowledge you gain in the classroom, but the intangible things that you got from the little tidbits and words of wisdom from the experience of your instructors, the invaluable experience about trying to find a way to work together with these people that maybe you could only stomach them long enough to get through your 8 hours in a day, but to pull that together and be able to do that and carry that forward back to your buildings. Take those extra skills with you back. How to build a team, how to work with other people, how to get by or stomach those people that you can only stomach during the workday, but how to work not just to get through the day, but to be successful at the end of the day. And I promise you, the statistics and those numbers of the people that we're seeing not just complete this program successfully, or 98% success rate for people that move on, those crazy numbers of people that are promoting past, not just the mechatronics tech, but future roles that they want to, those people all carry these intangible, invaluable skills and the working knowledge of the certifications that they earn back. And that's what made them successful. So I want to challenge each and every one of you with that today. Take that back. Take that back, because just as this was this great foundation and platform for you to be successful and start this career that's going to benefit and help the relationships with your families, to support the kids, to support everything that you want to do in the future, it's going to be that to get you to not just the mechatronics tech, but what's your future? What was it that you wanted to be when you grow up that we thought about at orientation day? Now's the time to start talking to those managers. Now's the time to start working and putting in practice, but it's going to take all this application. So again, congratulations on this job well done, but welcome to the starting line, because now the rubber gets to meet the road. Thank you again to the family and friends and loved ones for your tremendous sacrifice. And thank you so much for those that were able to make the crazy long journeys up or down to Vincennes, Indiana. And again, just congratulations on a job well done. And I look forward to seeing where you end up and to hear all about your success in the field. So congratulations and thank you for your time.
Hey, thanks a lot, Michael. Really appreciate that. As I said at the outset, and as all of you know, this program wouldn't be what it is without the great faculty and staff that we have that support this program. And it's a chance for us, when you all graduate, for us to take a deep breath and to put smiles on our face, to know that you've got an accomplishment. We got an accomplishment too, which is getting all of you from the start to the finish of this program and graduated. I mentioned Jerry Rubel, who's in isolation, who runs all of our training programs. Brett McCandless, who heads up the Amazon program. Brett's a long-term faculty member from VU who came over to us a couple of years ago. And Brett will tell about anybody who listens that this program has every bit as much difficulty and rigor as any of our 2-degree programs that we have here at the university. And Brett's just a great asset to this program. Carly Pummel. Carly, thanks for everything that you do. Carly is taking a promotion and is going to move over to the Center for Applied Robotics, Advanced Robotics and Automation. But she's agreed to stick around and help us choose her successor and train them up to be every bit as good as Carly is on keeping the back end of this program running. So thank you, Carly, for all of your efforts that you've made on behalf of previous cohorts since you've been here, and for being here today. You're terrific, and we wish you the very best. We got a special guest here, and that's Robin Birch. And Robin is a friend of mine, and she's a great colleague here at Vincennes University. She said earlier today, as she was coming in the building, this is her favorite cohort that she's had, and she wanted to be here to support all of you. And just to give you a little anecdote, it's been a couple of years ago, and Robin and I met for lunch, and I was talking about thanking her for all of the support that Robin gives for my Amazonians. And she says, Dave, I got to correct you here. those aren't your Amazonians. Those are my Amazonians. She takes ownership of this program. She takes ownership of what we do in Vanderburg Hall. And Robin, thank you so much. You're great. We couldn't run this program without you. So thanks a lot. Now, I say all those good things about Robin. Robin knows this. Robin and her older brother, Joe, and I were in the same class growing up. And Robin knows that I say some of these things because Joe was a pretty tough customer. And I always needed to say good things about Joe to make sure that he didn't beat me up. And so I continue to say these things. So make sure you don't sick Joe on me, right? You're still going to say good things, right? Okay. Just want to make sure of that. Joe, if you're out there, hi. Terrific sister. Yeah. Okay. Good. Definitely. Okay. Good. We got a great bunch of faculty members, and I want to acknowledge all of them. Some of whom are here today, some of whom aren't. Now, do I have to say Mr. before all their first names, or can I just call them by their? Okay. So, Kurt Bedwell. Kurt's here, right? Thanks. Joshua Brett. Stephen Corey and Hubie Holland and Charles Martin and Wesley Rourke. Yep. Dan Stanescu, who we're going to hear from in a minute. Dan. Larry Tennant was here. Oh, I think he had work he had to do, right? He was working on something. Yeah. So Larry, and then and Rocky Wolf, Steve Corey. Didn't I say Steve? Okay. We're good? Okay. And then and Rocky Wolf, and I don't know whether you had Rocky for your classes here. Tremendous teacher. He's also the greatest lover of the Cherry Delight dessert that's out here. So do not, if there is one helping left, do not take that last helping, because Rocky Wolf, he counts on us saving some dessert for him, and he threatens to quit if we don't have any for him. So save a little bit of Cherry Delight for Rocky. You guys are great. I get to stand up here and, talk about the program and take credit and do all that kind of stuff. This thing runs because of these great instructors. They all have tremendous. Yeah.
Can't leave out Brett. Brett helped a lot of people too.
Brett McCandless. For sure. Brett McCandless. Thank you. You know this, and this is mostly for our guests and people online. It's one thing to have industry experience and to know what goes on the line every day, what problems occur, how do you assess those problems, how do you solve them, how do you get things back up and running again, and that's a special skill. Another special skill set are people who have knowledge and they're committed to teaching, and they have the ability to take the knowledge that's in their brain, the knowledge that's in the books, the knowledge that's in those lab exercises, and get that from that into learners' brains and into their hands so that they can do those things. And it's a whole nother thing when you can take both of those skill sets and combine them into a program like what we have here. And as you know, people in this class, that's what we've got. We've got people with industry experience. We've got people who've been solving problems on the line over decades, but they also know the classroom piece. They know the hands-on piece, and they got a great ability to put that together and give you the competencies that you need to be successful as apprentices and successful as technicians out there. So thanks again to all of our staff, and I'd like to invite to the stage Dan Stanescu to give a few words.
One more time, 55. One more time. I hear that Cutters has got a 2-for-1 grad special going on later today. I don't know. Anyhow, we spent quite a bit of time together, shared a lot, worked with each other a lot, and it's been a pleasure to see you all grow and blossom and get this knowledge under your belt and go forward. I see great things coming in your futures, and I don't say that just to say that. Okay. I want to talk about three things: risk, reward, and the future. Okay. Risk. 12 weeks ago, you took a risk by leaving friends, family, your normal workplace, that career that you knew, and you came here to start picking up a toolbox. That toolbox we keep talking about, right? Pretty full at this point. You came here to start into a field that you may or may not have known much about, varying degrees. People may have not really fixed anything all the way up to people may have had some experience with mechanical, with networking, with whatever. It's a big risk. That's one thing you need to recognize. The second thing is reward. Here you are on the other side of that. All those peaks and valleys going through this whole program, whenever you felt like you're looking up a mountain, here you are. You're at the top of that thing. You're looking down. You've gained all this. Okay? That is something you need to recognize and appreciate while you're here right now. You came here, you achieved your goal. You should recognize that, appreciate that. Don't forget that. Don't forget those struggles. Don't forget where you came from. Where we come from often shapes where we're going, how we look at our future. Okay? The last thing is the future. We've often talked about where things have been, where we're currently at, and where we're going. You have to set up goals for yourself. You have to look forward to see where you want your career to go. You have to lay these goals out in front of you. Okay? You came here for a reason. Okay? To provide for those at home and who's significant to you, and to better yourself. Right? You've got that toolbox. It's full now. You, go back to your different facilities, and I wish you the best. Okay? I see a lot of good things coming out of this group, the different dynamics, because there's the classroom portion where we're all working together and we're discussing through. Then there's the one-on-one, and then there's the whole dynamic of whenever you're out of here and you're working together as a team with your peers. These are all lessons and things that are going to come together to help you as you go forward whenever you get back to your places that you're going to go to work. Because now you're going to go to a new team. You're going to have new missions, new things that you have to do. And that learning curve is just going to keep going on up. Tyron talked about don't let yourself become still. Keep moving. You are moving now. Okay, you've come a long way. Keep that up and keep that going. All right. Don't forget about continuing education. Right? You got this in your back pocket now. You got this in your records. You are at a place that gives you a lot of opportunity, because whenever you walk out of here, there's zero debt. You've got education started, formal education. Now you can continue that on. You can go towards associate's degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, whatever it is that your goal is, wherever you're going. It's there. The opportunity's there. Remember what we talked about? It's there. You got to reach up and grab it. It's there. That's half of it. The other 50% is you going after it and reaching those goals, going after them. Keep moving. That's excellent words of advice. Okay. Last thing I'd like to say to y'all is congratulations. It's been a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. If there's anything that you ever need from me, get my email address, whatever, you can reach out to me anytime. This doesn't have to stop here. If you have a question, if you need something that I can help you with, here I am. Okay? Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks again, Dan, for those words of wisdom. Really appreciated. So now we're getting to the real formal part of what this is all about. and that's conferring these certificates of program completion, which are formal academic credentials that VU issues. And for family members and friends that are here, for people that are online, for leadership back in the FCs, just want you to know a little bit about this program and how hard and how rigorous it is. You've been in class now for 12 weeks. The standard semester is 16 weeks. You have completed 18 credit hours of college credit. Typical college student takes 16 hours at the most, usually 15 or 14 credit hours per semester over 16 weeks. You all are completing 18 credit hours in 12 weeks. This is a full-time job. You've been in class Monday through Friday. You've been in classroom. You've been in labs. You've been studying. You've been doing all those things. But here we are issuing now certificates of program completion in mechatronics and robotics from Vincennes University. So, will the candidates qualifying for the certificate of program completion please stand? It is my privilege to certify that these candidates meet the necessary qualifications for the conferring of the certificate of program completion in mechatronics and robotics. The faculty has prepared the students to meet the requirements of Vincennes University and join me in recommending that the appropriate degrees be conferred. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Vincennes University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you certificates of program completion with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. You may now turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations. Okay, now you're all going to sit, if you would. We're going to hand out the certificates. Brett's going to read the names. And we're going to come over here, and Carly or somebody's going to get photos, right? Carly will get photos. She'll upload all those to Chime at some point here in the near future, so you can look for them. And then if you would, after everybody's gotten their certificates, if we can assemble for a group photo, we'll do that, and then we'll adjourn. But Brett, will you please announce the names?
This is why I was coming around earlier to ask you how to pronounce your name. Ready? Okay. Ethan Acox. Skyrus Allen. Avery Blosser. Constance Castilla. Ethan Gardner. Moad Harvey. Jace Hardebeck. Edward Harris. Joseph.
Three of us are willing to take on anybody in 3-on-3 basketball. Ceremony, by the way. Okay, sorry.
That's right. Joseph Hill. Morgan Maxwell.
Just real obvious.
Bushra Omalish. Gerardo Pulido.
Let's make sure we get the. You got it,
Robert Richmond. Sardonyx Elacia Sam. James Scott. Julius Subil. Avante Singley. Tyron Stevens. Brian Vasquez. Alex Walker. Michael West.
One step that way. There you go. Perfect. Got it. Great job.
Oh, ready for that? Okay. All right. So, closing remarks. First, I want to thank Skyrus for the kind words. I learned that if you give somebody a pecky pen, they'll say nice things about you. So in my role, I don't get to interact with all of you, but I know what you've been through, what you've done. So I am proud of all of you and do congratulate all of you. And kind of three things I like to mention is one, kind of a theme that other people have said, but to take from here what you've learned about yourself in terms of what you've had to overcome to achieve what you've achieved. There was a lot of times I know when things seemed, insurmountable and you had things coming up that were very difficult, but you did what you had to do and you put the effort in to get it done and to apply that to any future problems that you have in your life. You know that you have what it takes to overcome these things. Okay. And in the education side, as Dave was talking about, I spent 35 years teaching over in the College of Technology before coming over here. And I can tell you that the amount of study that you've had to do here is more than what the average college student does when they go to school and take classes. So if you're thinking about future education, whether you can do it or not, you can, because you've already done harder work than most people have to do in college because of the compression and of this program. It's a very difficult program. When you leave here, when you go back to work, make sure that you are practicing safe work practices. So take that extra little bit of time to make sure things are safe before you do anything, all right? You always want to make sure that you're going home at the end of the day, okay? And the third thing is make sure you turn your room key in before you leave.
Okay, thank you, Brett. So congratulations, graduates. We will take a group photo over here. Feel free to take all the photos that you want, family members, once we've done that. And with that, we're adjourned. Congratulations. Yeah.